No, they're just bullies. No, I'll handle it. Oh, sorry, what? Oh, we are getting started with our iBoy review right now. I have to go. iBoy, the Netflix original movie? What? What? No, it's a good movie. What? Okay, well, you can't trust everything the critics say. What? What? Oh my God, I'm so mad. I gotta go. All right, I love you, Mom. Bye. All right, let's get started with our review of the Netflix original, iBoy. First things first, so I saw it on Netflix, I looked at the premise, and I thought to myself, wow, that looks terrible. The kid controls electronics with his mind. It's been done before, it's been cheesy before, it's never been a great movie before. I read some reviews, I heard from friends. Basically, everyone said it was terrible. So I went into it thinking maybe everyone's wrong, maybe everyone's right. We'll see either way. Let me tell you, it is a good movie. I thought the same thing. Maybe everyone else is going in with judgments, but watch it for yourself if you don't believe me, because iBoy is a good movie. Let me tell you why in our review this week, all right? So iBoy is about a teenager who gets bits and pieces of a cell phone lodged in his brain and can then control the wonderful world of electronics that we live in. I know. It sounds just real bad. But let me tell you why it's not. So this has been done before, you know, a young kid or teenager, what have you, gets zapped by lightning or infused with a computer and they control electronics, the internet, whatever. And those movies are always bad. I don't know why, but they just are. They're always cheesy. There's always light banter. Sure, there'll be some action in them, but again, it's light. iBoy is not a light movie. It's actually pretty dark. It's intense. It's action-packed. And it really grabs you. And that's something I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting to be so drawn into the movie, but it does that. That's why I think the premise actually works here, because it draws you in and you kind of escape the premise a little bit, and it's just a reality to you. That's what a good movie should do. You know, it's an escape. You get entrenched in the story. And iBoy does just that. So I've been rather complimentary so far. But there are a couple of flaws. And the first one is just a gimme. If you get pieces of a cell phone stuck in your brain, you will not control electronics. It is theoretically and physically just impossible. Now, you could go to a million universes and never see a universe where that can happen. It's just unrealistic. That being said, it's a movie. You know, we see Star Wars, we see King Kong. We should be moving past that at this point. Sure, it's not believable, but it does make sense. You can get into it, and it's not hard to just move past it, you know? Just get involved in the story, and iBoy grabs you. iBoy wraps you in and says, this is a fact. And again, well done on their part. Second thing I do not like about it, some of it seems a little bit unrealistic. And I know I just said we're a movie, Justin, it's fine. Some of the things don't really make sense. They don't go into great detail to explain it. Everything is possible, you know, again, when we're in the movie universe. But they could have done a better job at explaining some things. It's nothing to laugh at, but you know, it is what it is. My final real flaw with the movie is lack of real character development and story resolvement. You know, I don't really see Tom kind of learn his lesson in a major way. Obviously, you know, the story resolves itself, but it just could have been a little more clear, put a little more emphasis on it. It could have been more cathartic. But hey, again, I loved it. Now, let's get into some plot details. So, if you have not seen it, I would turn this movie off now and go watch it for yourself. Be the judge. Tom gets shot in the head. I want to talk about that and my flaws, but I couldn't. They kind of gloss over the fact that Tom just gets shot in the head and survives. And sure, it gets him his powers, and I'm sure that helps out a little bit. Again, we're in the movie universe. But could you go into, guy gets shot in the brain, all he has is a scar around his ear? Could you just go into it? Now, let's talk about everything that I loved about it. Quiet, quiet Tom and quiet, quiet Lucy. Lucy always fancies Tom. Tom always fancies Lucy. We see it coming together right at the beginning, and it's a little magical. Kind of gets you involved in their romance, and then boom, the attack happens. Lucy gets sexually assaulted and raped. Tom gets shot, and it takes a serious, serious turn right there. I couldn't believe it when it happened. I was so shocked. I was so shocked that they had the guts to do that. Again, these movies are usually light, they're on their feet. They play around with their powers. Tom doesn't play around with his powers. He has one goal after that happens. And it's just revenge for Lucy and a little bit for himself, which is understandable. These movies are usually a little funny. There may be 2 times in the whole movie when I really laughed, which is rare for me. I love funny movies. I don't really like some serious movies sometimes. I think they're a little overdone. But iBoy just took it to a really good level. A really good level. So pretty much immediately, Tom figures out who is behind the attack. Lo and behold, it's the high school bully who's a part of a gang and his 3 best friends. Who would have thunk that the bully would be capable of such things? He figures it out, and as soon as he does, starts working on how to bring them down. He's such a quiet kid. I love just seeing his mind work. It's like, wow, they need to pay. He goes to the party, he sees them all, he figures it out exactly who it is, and then he starts messing with them. He learns how to hack, and he gets in there. Hacking was a little bit unrealistic as well, but again, we're in the movie universe, he has a computer in his brain, I can move past that the hacking is a little unrealistic. So he gets all the hacking done, he gets information, and then he realizes to himself, hey, there's probably more people involved. Let's get the gang leaders involved. I need to clean the streets so this kind of thing doesn't happen again. And he becomes a silent guardian. I love the internet's reaction because it's exactly how it would be. He gets the bullies in a car and he lights it on fire with the electrical powers of the car. That is just so cool. It's such a cool concept that I hadn't thought of. He gets some gang information revealed. He goes after the leader. He starts making a real mess. I almost thought that there was going to be no conflict. I thought that he was just going to take everyone out because he was doing such a good job at it. And then, of course, you get the Kingpin involved. Now, the Kingpin was a scary, scary dude. But, I loved the conversations between him and Tom. Tom was always very stoic. He did agree to help him, but just to buy time. And you could see his mind always working. The Kingpin said, hey, I can see that you're quiet. I can see that you're thinking of things. He kind of envisions Tom envisioning the screen in front of him. And that is true. But what's also true is that Tom is a quiet kid and he's a thinker. He's a smart dude. So when he's being quiet, he's also thinking about ways to survive, ways to win. It's very well done. Now, the end of the movie, final battle between him and Tom. Tom unleashes a shockwave of mental energy, I guess. I think it's technically from the shards in his brain. That's where it's kind of coming from, along with the power of his brain. Emits a shockwave that knocks him and the Kingpin out, and all of them just go to jail, get pinched. So we get some closure. And I like that Tom's best friend was actually involved the entire time, and Tom lets it go as he knows better, and he knows that that guy's not going to mess with him anymore. Lucy and Tom end up together. It's very good. It's all so good. I don't know where the critics are coming from. I have said some flaws in the movie. Sure, I have. But what are the real problems with it? I can't find any. It grabs you. It's well done. It's dark. It's sad too. The whole movie with Lucy trying to get over the rape is very touching. I think it's very realistic of how victims actually tend to act. I think she portrays it well. I think Tom also portrays being a victim well too. Sort of in the male role as well. He feels guilty, he couldn't stop it. He feels guilty, and that guilt kind of takes him along the whole movie. He says he's getting revenge for Lucy, but even Lucy knows it's really just for Tom. So, if you didn't like it the first time around, maybe you can go back and give it a watch through and see what you think. Kind of try to take out the unrealistic parts that were bothering you or whatever it was out of your mind. Because I loved it. I thought it was well done. I've said it before. But, I give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. A 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think it's undeserved. I think people are being harsh. Yeah, Netflix is pushing out a lot of content, and some of it's kind of crap. But there are some good things. This isn't the first good thing I've seen Netflix do. I think people are just really looking at ways to not like it. And it's good. Well, guys, that about does it for me this week. Please like or subscribe. You can see all of that information all around me. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. I enjoyed making this video. I hope to see you guys again real soon. I'll see you next time.